I'm Clint Johnson with Integrated Aerial Solutions. We're out here doing work for Buffco Production in East Texas today. And what we want to show you is how we use DJI Enterprise drones to greatly affect their workflows. And then we want to do LiDAR to show how we do site planning, how we show drilling locations, how we show frac ponds, how we can take what would take days and several surveyors just one day with one drone and one payload. Let's get into LiDAR. When any oil and gas company decides to drill a new well site, they will get a rough idea from geologists where to go in that area. And they'll say somewhere in these 80 to 100 acres, that's where you want to drill the site. That's your best chance to get gas. Where we come in with drones and LiDAR is we can scan that 100 acres and we can take the topography and the elevation data and the wetlands. We can determine where's the cheapest spot to build that pad and the most reasonable, to have the easiest access and to have the easiest cut and fill dirt requirements as possible. Before we start flying with the LiDAR scanner, and when you want to do a photogrammetry mission, you want to set up a DRTK tower. Getting the RTK data, or real-time kinematic data, is essential to make sure that these missions are survey grade accurate. Now that we have the DRTK3 tower set up and the drone powered up and ready, we can connect the tower and the drone together. We're going to go into these three dots up here, and we're going to go down to this satellite, which helps with our RTK positioning. What we're going to do is we're going to check it on. It still won't connect because right now we are showing to be at a custom network RTK. We're going to click that drop down, hit DRTK base station, which it will prompt us to restart the aircraft, and then it'll give us a normal RTK output. Now you'll see it's green and connected, and you'll see RTK at the top. Now you're ready to fly. So now let's start mapping a mission. Now it's going to bring up any errors. You can make sure everything looks good. What happens when you lose signal, max flight distance, make sure your sensings are on. Next, upload flight mission. And away it goes on its own. Right here, you're seeing visible light as it goes through. In a second, once it does its calibration, you'll be able to see the LiDAR scan as it's in progress. So it's gonna go back and forth 3 or 4 times to make sure that it's calibrated and ready. Again, we covered this in our pre-flight plan where we made sure this was checked. If you do not see it calibrate, that means you forgot this step and it could mess up your entire project. So make sure you land it and redesign the flight plan. Now that it's flying, we can switch to the point cloud and you can see it in action. All of those millions of lasers are collecting all of these points in real time. You can see here how there's dead spots. That's my indication that that's water. When I see that water, or I see the creeks, or I see the areas that they might not know about, this lets me tell them in real time. And then once I finish the post-processing, I can show them exactly what I had seen. Once you've completed the mission, now you're gonna go back to the computer and you're gonna upload all of that data into DJI Terra. Once it's there, DJI Terra will begin processing. From there, you can take it into DJI Modify, and you can do additional work to try to see other things that you might want to see and manipulate it a little bit. Or you can send the LAS files into third-party software to give true deliverables in the way that you want. Utilizing the sensors like the L3 or the P1, you're able to render 3D models just like this one. This is the facility we were at earlier today, and this is an example of how the 3D model can look. What's excellent about these 3D models is they are survey grade centimeter level accurate, which means not only can you train in the office with these facilities and kind of run through with operators what is happening out here, how the gas is flowing and various things like that, you can also plan construction. Right here we have a separator that maybe at some point you might need another one. If you were to put in another separator, you could measure this entire section out and do whatever you need to do to determine what it would take to put in that separator. Thank you for taking the time with us today. We use drones for so many other things, and we would love to teach you about those too. Check the description below or reach out to us so that you can learn more. Till next time.